Hi, y'all. Welcome to 2020 Diaries. It is Wednesday. We are so glad to see you here today, whether you are watching this at the premiere or whether you are watching this in the future. We are glad you are here. We would love to encourage you to like this video and to leave comments so that we know that you were here and we can interact with you. My name is Amanda Martin. I'm a peer support here at Promise Resource Network. And this is my counterpart.
I'm Cedric. I'm also a peer supporter here.
So today we have a special guest, and her name is Becky, and she is actually an employee here at PRN as well. I'll let her dive into that, but I wanted to let Cedric share a little bit about how he met Becky the first time, and then from here we'll go into a little clip so that you can check out exactly why Cedric's first impression of Becky was so impactful. So Cedric, you want to share with us how you know Becky?
The first time I met Becky was at our This Is My Brave presentation. That was the show.
And that was like 2018, right?
2018.
Okay.
And Becky and I were performers of This Is My Brave. And it was just something about, I was so nervous, Amanda. But Becky, I don't know if around communicating or interacting with everybody, she kind of knew I was nervous. I told her I was nervous, but she made me feel safe and she made me feel inspired. So your very first impression of me meeting you, Becky, I felt safe because I felt like, you know what, I can get through this because you're there doing the same thing I'm doing. So my very first impression of you was that. And I'm so honored to be able to say that I know you and I met you through the This Is My Brave experience. So welcome and so glad to converse and catch up.
Yeah, we just love this. Becky, I'm gonna let you go ahead and jump in and introduce yourself, and then from there we'll take a little break and we'll go into This Is My Brave, the video clip of Becky's story. It's about 2 minutes, so nothing wild, but it's definitely worth hearing because her story is amazing, just like she is amazing. So Becky, take it away. Let us know who you are, let us know a little bit about you, and let us know what you do for Promise Resource Network.
Yeah, so hi, thank y'all. And so I got to know PRN through This Is My Brave and got to meet Cedric then, and that was an amazing experience for me for sure. And just getting to know a little bit some of the people at PRN, that was a wonderful experience. But that's how I first got introduced to y'all in 2018. And then I did my peer support training with y'all in 2019. So that was nice as well. And yeah, so a little bit about me. I, just as we all at PRN have our stories and a passion for getting to walk alongside people, and I'm excited to be a part of the family. Right now I am working on the warm line, which I really enjoy doing. I get to cry with people, laugh with them, celebrate with them, and just be an ear for them, and it really is a blessing in my life.
We love that. Thank you so much, Becky. Thank you for being a part of the warm line and providing that service for people, because it's a hard place to be, both as the warm line answerer and the person making that call to a warm line. So I know that people's lives are better because they have been able to talk to you during warm line shifts. So thank you for that.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Bagley, and this is My Brave. "5 years old, hands raw from washing and sanitizing, from all the germs I just knew were there, the thought of disease I could not bear. 14 years old, every day he threatened me, touched me in the hallways of school. He sent me message after message. Obsession consumed him, and I had fallen victim. 15 years old, the first time the thoughts of taking my own life entered my head, planted seeds and refused to leave. 16 years old, the stalking had ended, but it left my body a shell of agoraphobia, anxiety, depression, and insomnia. He took my most prized possession, my security. I no longer felt safe, not in my own mind and not in society. 18 years old, my first hospitalization, first for a day, then a week. Every day I had thoughts and urges of death and harm, every sharp object's an often alarm. Finally, the diagnosis of OCD. Everything made sense. You see, most people think of obsessive compulsive disorder as organized, color-coded perfection. They don't know the obsessive thoughts and rituals which ruled my life, made my head a minefield of devastation. Still 18 years old, I had tried out more medications than I can even remember the names of, but I found the combination that worked. I had never thought I would make it to graduate high school, never planned on seeing my family's face as I walk across that stage, but I did. And not only did I graduate with my diploma, but I graduated with my associate's degree. At 18 years old, I was a college graduate, and I started to feel free. Now 19 years old, I still have to check the locks in the door, first 3 times to the left hand, then 3 times to the right. But now my intrusive thoughts pass like waves, and I don't obsess on them. And I still have bad days, but now I want to live for the bad and the good days because every day makes me feel alive. And I know I can handle it because even in the worst days of my disease, I thrive. Now as I start college, I look ahead, plans for becoming a psychologist. And I know my future is bright because I have survived everything the devil has thrown at me. Just like the bumblebee, I wasn't meant to fly, but every day I do. And you better believe that if I can rise from the pits of my own personal despair, so can you. This is my brave.
The first thing that we normally talk about in 2020 Diaries is like, it's 2020. Life's kind of sucked, right? Like, it hasn't always been the best. It hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows every day. This has been a tough year for everybody, regardless of what you're going through. It's just been a very different year. As a person on a journey of recovery, wellness, resilience, all that good stuff, what has keeping, I call it keeping my stuff, but what have you done to keep your stuff? What have you done to keep your wellness, to continue your journey of resiliency, and to continue to be just the best you that you want and can be?
Yeah, so I've kind of tried to fall back into old passions. So reading is one of them and kind of writing a little bit. So I have been reading and I love nonfiction. I feel like a sponge sometimes. I like to absorb as much information as possible. So I have been reading and getting back into just learning everything I can.
Nice. So what are some of the things that you've been reading? Like what are the things that you've been interested in reading? If you're like me and you enjoy reading, you probably also enjoy like getting online and looking up stuff and like researching things. So like what does your browser say? Like what would your computer browser say if we were to bust that bad boy open?
Yeah, what's your history?
So the 2 books I'm currently reading right now is White Fragility and Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? And if you were to bust open my browser, you would see a lot of just articles on white privilege and trying to assess your own and just try to better yourself and realize, what am I doing that is potentially harmful, and how can I be a better person? And systemic racism, and just trying to learn everything I can.
That's awesome, Becky. Yeah, we definitely, I know as a white woman appreciate that growth because I too have taken time and I'm still taking that time to learn and grow in a white person and how I can be the best person I can for the Black and brown community, and how sometimes my privilege was kicking me in the tail and was causing me, to not be a good community member. So I'm grateful for that. I also would suggest to our other viewers, if this is something that you're interested in, Layla Saeed has a workbook called Me and My White Supremacy. It is for white women. It is amazing. Y'all, I'm going to be honest. We recorded this yesterday and it did not record. So we're here doing it again today. And I know that the three of us had quite the conversation yesterday about this topic. And something Cedric shared with us yesterday was that it was comforting for him to hear that, because he's so used to, as a Black man, having to go places. And before he can even get physically prepared to deal with the abuse and the assault that Black and brown people have to deal with, he's having to emotionally prepare for it. So that could be a comfort to know that people are actually working on that stuff.
What is this comfort to know that people are honest, being transparent, and being aware of what they've experienced, how they can take it something where we all can be united. You know, because as Black people, we do have to mentally prepare ourselves before we even go out our doors. You know, we have to have conversations as a community or as a family right there at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
You know, to talk about, okay, even, you know, Black men and women raising their sons. All right, how do I respond to the police? You know what I mean? And so what am I supposed to do? What extra step do I have to take necessarily for me to not be in a situation where I'm dead? You know? And so those are things that, and Becky, I commend you, and Amanda too, you guys just even being honest about the privilege of, you know, just even speaking on it and even being aware that, hey, you know what? Let's learn more about this so that I can be an asset to the community. I want to take from. You know, we talked about that deficit yesterday, that emotional deficit that we feel. And so I feel like what we're doing is trying to be assets to pour into our communities, you know, where we see a deficit.
Right. So Cedric, you just mentioned something that it's hard to do sometimes when we're in a journey of our own recovery and wellness. And then especially, you know, when we get jobs like the Warm Line or, you know, other supportive jobs, and that's pouring into people. We spend a lot of time doing that. I can't speak for anyone else right here, but it's a passion of mine. I'm almost positive that the other two folks with me would be willing to say it's a passion of theirs to pour into other people. But Becky, what do you do to make sure that you are poured into so that you can be that person, you can be that entity that has wellness to pour into people? What is your motivation behind being that person? I know the answer I'm looking for because you gave it to me yesterday, and I'm fishing for it, girl. Because it's so inspiring, and it's so just like, it hit me and it stuck with me, and I feel like if I don't get it on this recording, then the world is missing out on something amazing. So I'm searching for it.
So I know we talked about yesterday, really what motivates me is being that person I wish I had when I was younger.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that it's just because I know we had talked about, or I know you had said yesterday something along the lines of, I can't imagine the place I would be in if I had a me then. So that's really my biggest motivating factor. And I know Cedric talked about yesterday about making sure we heal ourselves and forgive ourselves. And I think that is kind of honestly how I do stay on this journey of just recovery and wellness, is making sure that I take the time to heal myself for when there's something I'm not happy with along the way or a mistake I made, just making sure I heal myself.
We love that. We love that so much that Cedric and I both cheered for it, because man, to be the person that I needed when I was in my stuff. And we just watched Becky's This Is My Brave performance, which talks about some of the person that she could have used at that time in her life based on what she was going off of. And so now to know that there are people like Becky, there are people like Cedric, there are people like myself that have those lived experiences that were hard, and that now we're able to be that for someone else in community going through that is powerful. So we're grateful for you, Becky. Thank you.
I'm grateful for y'all.
Oh, thank you. We want to honor Becky's time today. Becky is also a part of NAMI, If you don't know what NAMI is, go check them out. They offer a lot of resources in the community for folks that are on their mental health journey. Maybe they're still dealing with some challenges. Maybe they're, they self-identified as recovering and being in recovery, that daily reprieve. They're an awesome agency, but she's going to be speaking with them and for them in about 10 minutes. So we want to honor Becky's time and allow her to get set up and prepare for that. We appreciate you, Becky.
Thank you so much.
It was my bad. I don't know. I don't have another excuse.
Yeah.
Technology is a good time. But we do appreciate you. And y'all know that you're going to see more Becky in the future. She's going to be hanging out with us December 14th. She's going to be hanging out with Bunny and myself as we talk about the day that we decided that we were going to jump on the recovery train. I think the title is something about like when recovery asked us to be engaged and we finally said yes. Well, we ain't getting married around these parts. So this is the day that we just snatched recovery up is what we're going to call it. Cedric, let's do that since we got Becky. We got Becky who's our warm line person. You want to share that? I got you, y'all. All right, y'all. The warm line number is 833-390-7728. It is 24 hours. It is toll free. It is for anyone across the country, the world. I don't care where you're at. If you need to call it, definitely call it. Someone will answer, and you will have a caring and loving person like Becky on the other end of that telephone line. We love you. You got anything else, son?
That's all I have. You guys love yourself and know that you can do it. When you look in that mirror, love that person you see.
Becky, any final words? Anything else you want to share with us?
I just want to say with the warm line, that if you need someone as an ear to laugh with, cry with, celebrate with, I know I'm here and y'all are too. So that makes me happy. So I just love y'all.
Love you too.
If no one's told you today they love you, just know that we love you, y'all. We'll see you next time. It's been real and it's been fun.